You didn't vote for Donald Trump because he's going to lower prices. You voted for Donald Trump because he hates the people you hate. And you love to hate. Because if you're not hating, you don't feel like you're alive.
If you voted red, I hate you personally. And I do hope harm finds you. Like literally, you're gonna burn in hell because you voted for Satan, rolled in Cheeto dust. And you know what happens when that happens? You just croak and you burn in hell. So you can go worship your little predator now. You little woman-hating, closeted, mommy-ish, you little loser. I hope you slip in a big old pile of shit, and I hope it gets in your mouth. And I hope you crash your truck when you're listening to that country music. Loser. How does it feel to be so closeted that you have to vote for that guy? How does it feel to be such a woman hater?
I'm sorry, am I the only one who gets physically sick to my stomach when I see a new article pop up about what RFK thinks causes or will cure autism? Because I swear it's all over my feed right now and it makes me want to puke. If you want to get rid of dyes in food, have at it. If you want to limit harsh chemicals or whatever it is you're looking into, by all means, you do you. But if you think that you are going to look at something like autism and go, boop, boop, ba-doop, cured, it's not going to happen, sir. You look silly. You look silly. It's giving God complex. It's giving 2021 TikTok. We don't want to go back to that. You cannot change the way someone's brain works, no matter what you detox, no matter what you stop giving them. It's their actual brain formation. It is how it functions. You cannot change that. So, sir, do what you're gonna do, but by all means, please just stay in your lane. And also, don't even get me started on fluoride because, oh my God.
I just looked up what the 4B movement is. And I literally fell to the ground crying. I had finally pulled myself together today because we actually are in a dangerous situation. Aside from the news this morning about who won the election, we actually have a fire that started and it is very close to where I live and people are now losing their homes very close to where I live. So I was sent home early today from work, but that's not what this is about. I literally looked up what the 4B movement was. If you don't know what the 4B movement is, Korean women had decided to stop having babies until they received equal rights, and their country was screwed because they weren't having enough kids. Their population was going down too quickly. I cannot believe that that was something that had to be done, and that now we are at our rock bottom and this is where we are at. I feel like I'm in a different world today. This is so heartbreaking. I'm beyond words and feelings today. Beyond.
I am not a conspiracy theorist. I like to keep my feet firmly rooted on reality. But right now, I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist.
To the people who think abolishing the Department of Education is a good idea, I'm going to give you one example as to why it is not. Yesterday, I was at a soccer game and there were two high school girls behind me. High school. These girls are in fucking high school. And one of them said, "How many halves are there in this game?" How many halves make a whole, sweetheart? How many halves make a fucking whole?
This morning I realized that because I'm such a petty bitch, I win either way. I'm either going to spend the next 4.5 years being the biggest cunt you have ever met. I'm never gonna shut up. That man is not my president. You will never convince me that he actually won this election. I don't care. I understand that there's a lot of people on the left saying, no, don't be like them. We need to keep our decorum. No. No. Decorum? Who is she? No, I'm gonna be fucking obnoxious. You will not be able to withstand being around me if you're a Republican. In fact, I actually don't have any Republicans in my life. I kicked those motherfuckers out a long time ago. But I'm gonna make sure that there's not a damn one stepping foot anywhere near me.
I was literally having PTSD attack from 2016. Yeah. And I was reliving 2016 in my living room just 2 days ago. I was hyperventilating. I was shaking. I went into my bedroom. I hid under the same exact covers that I was under 8 years ago. I mean, it was terrible. And finally, I said, I can't watch. I'm turning the TV off. Maybe I said to my husband, do you think that the blue wall will hold? And he's going, it'll hold. Don't worry. Just try to rest. So I tried to rest. That was impossible. I was just tossing and turning like horrible. He finally came in. I said, what's going on? He said, oh, it's about the same. And he fell asleep. And then so about 2 o'clock in the morning, I said, I can't stand anymore. I'm going to look on my phone. And I was kind of hoping one of you had texted me, but no, you all copped out. And so I opened up my text thread or opened up my phone, and literally on X 10 minutes before the networks had called it for Trump. And I started screaming and I was shaking my husband in bed. And I was hysterically crying. I will use actually the word hysterical to mean exactly what it means. I was a woman who was in a complete emotional meltdown. And so I said to Richard at the top of my lungs in the middle of the night in the dark, why does America hate women?
Kamala Harris is not done. She is, in fact, actually leaving Taylor Swift-esque Easter eggs, and I'm absolutely living for it. Let me show you what I just found. So for Kamala HQ or Harris Waltz emails, this is typically the bottom of the emails that you're going to receive from them. This email was sent to blank. Thanks so much for being a supporter. Paid for by Harris for president. As you can see, I got this one on November 5th. Obviously, election day. I just happened to go look at one now on the 9th, and this is what I see. The top part is the same. This email was sent to blank. Thank you so much for being a supporter. But now they're making a point to include the Harris Victory Fund. But that's not all. Will be allocated to Harris for President's recount account. All those feelings we had, something's not right, the math is not mathing, what's going on? Don't worry, Prosecutor Kamala is on the case. I'm not surprised we haven't heard anything about a recount yet, because there are a couple states that are not finished yet. I'm sure that the Harris campaign was really trying to look at the final numbers before they said, okay, let's go. I'm gonna go donate, but just a reminder, as the saying goes, when we fight, we win.
AOC just came on this app while she knows we're all doing our nightly scroll and is going to leave us with the biggest reputation drop album of politics. I'm gonna go to bed because now I feel hope in my heart that they know something's going on. I can't wait.
When she said, only when it's dark enough can we see the stars. And she told us not to lose hope. I think I know exactly what she was talking about. They've been watching since 2016. They've been investigating and watching them. And these arrogant fucks don't even try to hide their corruption. They knew something was happening. They've said something was going to happen. But you can't catch someone until they do it. Only when it's dark enough. Only when they reveal their darkness and you catch them can you see the stars. Can you see the way out? Those motherfuckers gaslit us again into believing that women did this, that women didn't vote, but women didn't vote for her. Hundreds of thousands of people on this app mostly women are saying that their ballots were not documented. They silenced us again. They tried to silence women again and turn black and white women further against each other. Women voted for women. And you will never convince us that we didn't. I truly believe something is coming. And it won't be long before we know.
That's why we've had this beautiful time of peace without hearing his fucking voice. Something is coming.
And you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense that Starlink is a part of this, and Elon Musk it makes sense why Elon Musk is in this, why he just suddenly came out of nowhere. And I just couldn't quite put my finger on it because I didn't have enough evidence, I didn't have enough information to go off of a hunch, an intuition that I had. And as women, our intuitions are never wrong.
Whether you know it or not, there is a consequence to everything you do or don't do. For example, we just elected a fascist to be president. Now, you might not know what that means, but you will soon enough. Maybe you think that the word fascist is just a scary word, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of meaning. Well, that's where you'd be wrong. The word fascist, it has meaning, and it's serious. And if you don't know what it means right now, hang on, you're gonna find out. Now, who's responsible for electing this fascist to be president of the United States? Well, it's people who voted for Donald Trump and people who didn't vote at all. You're just as responsible. Maybe you don't really think that Donald Trump really is a fascist, that this is all just overblown. He's harmless, he just says some crazy things, but he doesn't really mean it. And after all, Trump was president before and we didn't turn into a fascist dictatorship, right? So why would we be worried about that now? Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. First, in his first term, Donald Trump was surrounded by establishment-type people, people who actually took their oaths of office seriously, and they prevented Donald Trump from doing a lot of the things he wanted to do. But none of those people are going to be involved in his second administration. He will be free to do whatever he wants, and he has already promised some pretty seriously bad things. He promised to be a dictator starting on day one. He says that we should get rid of the Constitution. He wants to use the military to go after his domestic political opponents. Sounds pretty fascist, doesn't it? And another thing about his first term, he was running for re-election, which means he needed people to vote for him again. Now, it's hard to get their vote when you destroy the Constitution and you use the military to go after your political opponents. Usually the American people don't like that kind of thing. But that's not going to be the case this time. Donald Trump can't run again. So he is free to do whatever the hell he wants without fear of not being reelected. So congratulations. You just elected a fascist wannabe dictator. Oh, and as a special bonus, the Supreme Court has also recently told Donald Trump that he is free to commit any crimes he wants while president. And since Donald Trump is already a convicted felon, we know he has no problem committing crimes. So thanks a lot to all you people who either voted for Donald Trump or sat on your fat asses and didn't vote at all. You really screwed us. Good job.
I don't care how you phrase it, but if you voted for a misogynistic, convicted, felon, narcissistic, homophobic man who only wanted to get in this position for his own personal gain, then you and I, we're not cool anymore. Don't try to tell me it's just politics, let it go. Don't try to tell me that the stock market went up today. You're all idiots. I will never compromise my personal beliefs and body to save money on gasoline or for Elon Musk to be richer. And yes, I own a Tesla and I am ashamed of it.
Have y'all seen the videos? He's probably going to prison for the next 4 years. We still have that fighting chance.
So regarding my earlier video about not buying anything in Trump's economy, I keep getting lots of questions about like how to do it, so I wanted to post a follow-up to clarify some things. Number one, obviously groceries aren't included, but major caveat, I think groceries should come from like a local farmer's market, or if there's a CSA in your area, you can join that. Food co-ops are also a really good option if you live in a community that has one. Try and avoid the big grocery store chains like Kroger, Food Lion, Wegmans, Whole Foods. That one hurts because I really love Wegmans. Another thing is to unfortunately let go of your Amazon Prime membership. We're far too accustomed to getting things in 2 days or less. Like, not only did Jeff Bezos personally fund Trump's presidency, but it's also just like an environmental nightmare. So things like Amazon Prime, Instacart, all of those things gotta go.
I cannot be the only person that is trying to find this balance between keeping themselves aware and educated and wanting to be like, I don't know, engaged, and also the needing a boundary of like the fatigue that all of the news is providing, and seeing all the information about people he's putting into these offices. Like, the contradiction between those two things in my head is so real right now, and it is just leaves you in this place of just absolute like defeat. I don't even know.